Welcome students. So in this lecture we are going to study about the transportation and assignment problems. This is the first series of the lectures on transportation and assignment. So in this lecture we will introduce the concept of transportation and what are the problems related to transportation. So first of all, if you see, we will try to introduce transportation in this lecture series, in this particular section. In second topic, we will try to look into the solution methods which we employ to find out the solution of the transportation problems which we come across in the day-to-day, like let's say for example industries where they have logistics, supply chain, and they have different transportation problems for products to be delivered from one place to the another, right? In those cases we try to minimize the cost of transportation. So we will look into those different solution methods. Specifically, there are three methods mainly arrive at the solution methods. So specifically we will look into two methods. First is northwest corner method and the second one is least cost method. So we will look in detail about these two methods. So what is transportation problem? It specifically deals with reducing the, or you can say minimizing the transportation cost from destination, or you can say the source to destinations. When the packages are delivered from source to destination, we will try to reduce the transportation cost, right? So that is the main objective here. And we also have the capacity of goods at the source here, and those capacity will try to cater to the demand of the destination. What are the units which are requiring those packages? So what do we assume? First of all, we try to assume that the packages which we deliver, the products which we deliver from one place to another is homogeneous in nature, not heterogeneous of different kinds. Clear? Second is the shipping cost is same regardless of the routes, regardless of the number of units. The per unit, whatever the shipping cost is, it remains constant throughout the journey. Clear? It is not flexible, or you can say variable. Then there is only one route, or you can say one mode of transportations throughout the journey. We assume beforehand before solving these problems. So what are the problems? Let's say one example I will give you here. Here it is a company called Executive Furniture Corporations, right? They have three locations here: manufacturing offices, Des Moines, Evansville, and Fort Lauderdale. Now they distribute the desks to regional warehouses located in Boston, Albuquerque, and Cleveland. Now there are three supply points which I have discussed previously, and then three ports, or you can say the three destinations, or you can say three demands. So there are 9 constraints, or you can say 9 costs involved here. If you see here, there are 3 sources, or you can say the 3 warehouses from where the destinations or the demand we have to fulfill. From 3 source to 3 destination demand, right? Supply is 100 here, that is the constraint. For this Evansville we have the supply constraint of 300, and for the Fort Lauderdale we have 300. Here again the demand is of 300 for Albuquerque, and for Boston it is 200, and finally for Cleveland it is 200. So what the company, and if you see here, there are different costs available, shipping cost available. Each and every destination from the source, there are possible costs available here. Now the company wants to know how to minimize the cost if they want to deliver this packages from one place, or you can say the desk from the sources to the destination. This is a typical transportation problem. Now we convert, when we formulate into mathematical model. So how do you do that? You will just write down the total cost. What is the total cost? You will write here 5x11, right? What is 1 here? That is source, and 1 is the subscript is the destination here. Plus 4x2. What are these coefficients? Those are the cost of transportation from the source to destination from each and every source to the destination, right? What are the constraints here? Supply side constraints. If you see here, this x11 plus x12 plus x13 is less than or equal to 100. That is for the Moen supply. x21 plus x22 plus x23 is less than equal to 300. That Evansville supply, and this Lauderdale supply you have less than equal to 300. So accordingly, these are supply constraints and these are the demand constraints here. So we have what The objective here is to minimize the total transportation cost when the packages are delivered from the sources to the destination. This is the general form. When here C is the coefficient of whatever the costs are there, and here these are the variables, right, where the sources and destinations are given. Again, less than or equal to is the supply constraint, and equal to what is the constant demand, right? Which we have the summation, all the demand constraints, we try to find the sum, and those are the constraints. For the supply side, there should be less than or equal to whatever the supply constraints are. Now, what are the terminologies which are related to this transportation management? The first of all is transportation problems. First of all, feasible solutions. Feasible solution is the non-negative, whatever variables the solution you have got, the non-negative solution area, right? The feasible region you have got. So that is nothing but the feasible solution. Now also it satisfies the constraint and constraint of supply and demand as well, right? From when they satisfy supply and constraint, supply and demand constraints, you get the feasible region, right? But it also satisfy the objective function constraint. Objective function, there is also that you have to minimize the cost, overall cost. So then you will get the optimal solution. Here, what is basic feasible solution? M plus n minus 1 number of positive allocations. What are M? What is M? M is number of rows, n is number of columns in the transportation cost matrix. Here, balance problems when the supply numbers and the demand numbers are equal, right? Total supply and of all sources is equal to total demand of all destinations. Then it is a balance problem. If it is not, then we have to add the dummy column or dummy row, supply side or demand side, to balance the problem. Here, in that case, that is known as the unbalanced problem. What is degenerate problem? Degenerate problem is when the number of allocations are less than m plus n minus 1. Whenever we find out the allocations, optimal allocations, right? In that case, when they are less than m plus n minus 1, what is m plus n minus 1? Row, number of rows plus number of columns minus 1, then the solution is degenerate. Here, we will also tackle, we will solve the sums which are related to degeneracy of transportation. Now let's look into three types of methods are there: northwest corner method, least cost method, and Vogel approximation method to find out the feasible, you can say the initial basic feasible solutions. From out of these three methods, Vogel's approximation method gets nearer to the optimal solution, and we can check the optimality of the solution with the help of modified distribution method, also known as MODI method. Here, so let's look into these methods one by one. So again, I already told that if the problem is unbalanced, if the transportation cost matrix, if total of supply and demand, right, constraint is not equal, then we have to introduce the dummy column or dummy row in the transportation cost matrix so that we can get the balance problem. Once we get the balance problem, then and then only we can start the solution method, which is northwest corner or least cost or VAM method or Vogel's approximation method. Clear? Now here, if you see northwest corner method, the first and foremost method is the northwest corner method. As the name indicates, in the transportation matrix, first of all, what we will do? What are the steps involved in northwest corner method? This is one of the methods to solve the transportation problems. Right? First and foremost step is to check if the problem is balanced or not. If the problem is unbalanced, we will try to introduce dummy row or dummy column in the transportation cost matrix to balance the number of summation of supply and demand. Right? Next step is to, as the name indicates, northwest corner method. We will start with the northwest corner, right? And we will try to allocate maximum whatever the supply is. If you see here, we will exhaust the supply, whatever the factory capacity is in each row. Now, row cell wise, row wise, we will select the northwest corner, right? And we will, once the factory capacity is, or you can say supply side is finished, then we will eliminate that supply, and we will try to iterate one by one, right? We will try to exhaust the supply of each and every unit source given, right? And we will arrive at the solution. We will look into a problem so that you can easily understand these steps. So here the company has three facilities, S1, S2 and S3, right? And there D1, D2, D3 and D4 are the warehouses. Here the sources are given, the warehouses are given, right? Demand and supply is given, right? Transportation cost matrix is given here. Now with the help of this northwest corner method, we have to arrive at the minimum transportation cost. Now if you see here demand side, these constraints are also given. For D1 it is 200, D2 it is 225 and accordingly for supply side it is also the constraints are given. S1 can deliver up to 250, S2 to 300 and likewise. So what is the first step here? First step is to go to the cell which has the northwest corner. What is the northwest corner in this cost matrix, transportation cost matrix? If you see here, the northwest corner is the 11. So what is the supply side here? 250 is the supply side constraint and demand side it is 200. So what we can allocate in this cell? We can only allocate 200. So we will allocate 200, right? Now once we have allocated 200 here, if you see here, now what is the demand here now? Once we have allocated 200, the demand is fulfilled here. So we will eliminate this column. So we have eliminated this column. Clear? So what is the next step here? Next step is this, since this is eliminated, we will go to the next corner, northwest corner. What is the next corner here? That is this one, 13. Right? Here if you see, whatever is left, what is left here? It was left 50 here. So we have allocated 50 here, and if you see the previous slide, the 225 was there here, and here it was 50. Here it's 50 and 225. So in the next step, what we will do? We will assign 50 here, allocate 50 here. So still allocating 50 here, right? And we have also allocated whatever is left from 225. So what is left here? 175. We will allocate 175 here, which is the northwest corner. So the demand is fulfilled here. Here if we have 175 already allocated here, so that is what is left here, 125. Now again what we will do? We will allocate 125 here, which is the northwest corner. If you allocate 125 here, right? So the supply side is finished here. This supply side is completed here. So here we will put 0 here, and here if you see 125, 275 minus 125, which is coming out to be 150. Here now 150. What is the last step here? Last step, if you see here, we will northwest corner is this one. These two are left. 150 plus 250 is 400. So we will allocate 150 and 250. So that is the next step, 150 and 250. So we have allocated all these cells almost wherever the demand and supply were fulfilled. Not all of them, but wherever the demand and supply were fulfilled. If you carefully see here, what are the allocation, number of allocations here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right? So 6 allocations are there. So what is the row, number of rows here? 3 rows and 4 columns. So 3 plus 4 minus 1, m plus n minus 1, which is equal to 6. And the allocations, number of allocations are also 6. Hence the solution is degenerate, not degenerate, right? If it is less than m plus n minus 1, the solution is degenerate, right? Here they both are equal. So solution is non-degenerate. Here, and what is the minimum cost? Just multiply the cost matrix, the individual cell cost, with the allocation, number of units. So we will get the minimum transportation cost, which is coming out to be 1220. Sorry, 12,200. Clear? So in this way we can find out the northwest, from the northwest corner method we can easily find out the solution for the minimum transportation cost. Let's look into another method called least cost method. So as the name indicates, we will from the minimum cost matrix, whatever the transportation cost matrix is given, we will try to find out the minimum cost. So we will try to allocate the units in those cells only. So let's look into the method. It says the same thing, right? Whatever the cells which has the minimum transportation cost, we will try to allocate there the units with the help of supply and demand constraints, and we will fulfill the demand and supply here, and we will arrive at the minimum transportation cost solution. So let's look into an example so that you can understand. So here a company has three production facilities, S1, S2, same example is there, but we will try to solve with the help of the least cost method, right? So here if you see all the cells, the minimum cost here is at the 10, right? You can take here 10 as well, right? But here if you see carefully, the allocations here it is 250, right? You can put the 250 here allocations so that the minimum cost is fulfilled, transportation cost. But here 10 is the, for the transportation cost 10 is the minimum one here. So put 250 here. So what is left here? 150, right? So if you 250 is fulfilled, so this column will be cancelled, or you can say eliminated, because this port has completed the demand, right? What is the next step here? We will take into the least cost from this matrix. What is the least cost here? 11. So we will try to allocate that. Here it is, the demand is 200 and supply is 250. So we will try to allocate 200 here. That is the maximum we can allocate. So here we have allocated 200, right? So it is 0. The demand is fulfilled. So we eliminate this column here, or you can say this port of demand. And whatever is left, 250 minus 200 we have allocated, so 50 is left. Again, in this matrix, what is the lowest one? 13 and 13. So we will try to find out the maximum allocation here. That is the maximum allocation here. It is 150 here. So we will go with that step. That is 150 here. So this is fulfilled here. Here, so we cancel that. And whatever from 150 which is left, it is 125. Right? Out of these four cost matrix cells here, the minimum one is 13. So what we will allocate? We will allocate 50 here. Here, so we 50 if we allocate, we can cancel this supply side constraint. And here from 225 we have left with 175. Here 175 and 125 we can easily allocate here, and that is our final answer. So we have allocated 175 and 125. So this is the final cost matrix, allocations with the cost matrix. So how many allocations are there? If you see here, 6 allocations are there, and m plus n minus 1, number of rows plus number of columns minus 1 is equal to 6 here. So the solution is non-degenerate. Again, if we multiply the cost with the allocation, means 11 into 200 plus 13 into 50. Where do we get this? We get it from here. You see here, 200 plus 11, 200 multiplied by 11, 15 to 13, 175 into 18, and accordingly, and we will get the answer of 12,200. So from northwest corner method and least cost method, we have arrived at the solution of 12,200. Clear? So in this way, we can solve the transportation problems with the help of two methods. We have seen northwest corner method and least cost method. So in next lecture, we are going to look into the third method, which is the efficient method called as Vogel's approximation method. Thank you.